then display. Just note down the procedure. For any program, this procedure must be followed. Right? Store the value. First store the value, that is what we call input. Right? Once the data is stored, then process the data or compute, process or compute. For any program, for any programming language also, store the value, that is input, we call it as input, then process or compute, processing or computation or sending or receiving, whatever it may be, process or compute. And next step is that after computation, whatever the result is there, that must be stored or displayed. Display the value, that is what we call output. For array, we must follow the same procedure. For normal variable, we must follow the same procedure. For function, we must follow the same procedure. Pointer, follow the same procedure. Structure, follow the same procedure. For any programming language, this is the procedure. Right? That means whenever we write a program, we must think about these three steps. First, store the value. That is, we need to think about the input. Next one, whatever the available data is there, what to do with that data? Processing or computing or sending or receiving or whatever it may be, processing. And once the processing is completed, display the values, output. That's it. Program complete. Okay? That's what we have. The next one is that storing values in an array. Just put heading storing values in an array. Write the underline statement. In what way we can store the value? Either by initialization or by using scanf statement, input. Or the other option is that assigning values. See this. Initialize the element or read the value from the keyboard, that is scanf function, or the assign the values. Assignment operator. This is for storing, first point. Don't write all content, just underline content. Finish? For example, int a is initialized to 10 starting at the beginning. After some time, for example, we can write scanf statement, scanf percentage %d ampersand a, or at some places, okay, we can assign value also, something, some new value, right? Initialization starting point. If we know the value of a at the beginning itself, what do you mean by initialization? If we already know the value of a, okay, already know the value of a, then initialize it. If you don't know, don't initialize it. Okay, read the value from the keyboard. Or after some time, we want to change the value, then go for assignment. Assign a new value. 20 is assigned to a. In the beginning, actually, a is initialized with 10. 10 is stored in a. But I want to change new value. I want a new value. Then assign a new. 20 is assigned to a. That's it. Okay? These many ways we can initialize. Example, int numbers of 5. 5 values must be provided initially using curly brackets. Right? The values must be provided 1, 2, 3, 4, for example 5, and semicolon. Right? So what is the difference between the first statement and second statement? Two statements. Two arrays are there. A array, array A, array B. Array A type is integer, right? And what is the size of an array A? 10. We can store only 10 integers. What about the B? Did not mention the size. So what we can say? This is called fixed length array. Fixed length. The second one is variable. It can be 0 also, it can be 1 also, it can be 10, or it can be 100, or it can be 1000, or it can be 10,000 also. Variable length. Variable means it will change, right? Fixed length array. The second one is variable length array, right? So what is the difference between these two? The beginning itself, we know that, okay, I want to work with only 10 integers and go with fixed length. మనకు ముందే తెలుసు 10 integers తో వర్క్ చేయాలి, క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి. Then declare, take the help of first statement, int a of 10. The other case is that we do not know, okay, how many integers we want. I want to work with, it may be 10, or it may be 100, or it may be 1000. Then declare like this, variable length array, int b of without size. Okay, without mentioning the size. So how the memory is allocated for these two? Again, memory allocation. Whatever we declare, everything memory must be allocated. Memory must be allocated. For example, 10 means 10 integers. For each integer, how much memory is that? 4 bytes. 4 bytes. 4 bytes. 10 elements into 4 bytes. That is 10 into 4. 40 bytes will be allocated. Capital B means byte. Small b means bit. Bit can be either 0 or 1. Right? And what about the second one? Second statement, int b without size. There is no size, details about the size. Okay, it can be 0, it can be 10, 100, or 1000, or 10,000 also. Right? This is called static memory allocation. What we call static. The second one is opposite to static. Static opposite. Dynamic. Dynamic. Right? Second one is dynamic. The first one is static memory allocation. Static and munde. And whereas the second statement, do not know the size. Okay, that means at the dynamic. Dynamic means runtime, at the time of execution. At the time of execution. If you keep on providing input values, keep on giving providing the memory for each and every element at runtime. The first one is before execution, static. The second one is at the time of execution. At the time of execution. Right? You have provided one element. Okay, it will provide the memory for one element. You are providing 10 elements. Okay, 10 into 4, 40 bytes will be allocated. If you have provided 100 elements at the execution time, 100 into 4, 400 bytes of memory will be allocated at runtime or execution. Partial initialization. Yes, student. Partial initialization. This is okay. 5 elements are there. 5 elements are initialized, and this is variable length array. It can accept any number. It can accept any number. It can be 5 or 10 or 100, no problem. Then what about the third case? Partial initialization. Partially means, okay, in the beginning, myself knows only the 2 elements. I don't know about the remaining 3 elements. Later on, I want to provide the 3 elements. Then initialize with 3, 7. Okay, 3 is provided, 7 is provided. The remaining are filled with zeros. Later on, we'll provide the value. Then what about the fourth example? Initialize to all zeros. Say this. What is the size of an array? 1000 is there. 1000 elements. The size of an array is 1000. And we have initialized to 0. 1000 which is equal to bracket open, close and semicolon. What do you mean by that? All the 1000 elements will be initialized with a 0. Okay. Generally, why we need to talk about initialization? Whenever we write a program, okay, generally we used to initialize with 0 or something like that. Kada? మనం ఎప్పుడైనా వేరియబుల్ డిక్లేర్ చేసినప్పుడు స్టార్టింగ్లో 0 ఇనిషియలైజ్ చేస్తాం. ఎందుకని? 0 is the starting point. For example, int a is not initialized. Okay, and its address is, for example, A's address is, okay, consider some 2000. A's address is 2000. Previously, at this address, some information is available, some value is available, some 10 or okay 15. Previously, it is not clear, right? Okay, this memory location 2000, okay, used with some value, 15 value, previous value. This 15 value is not related to this program. This 15 doesn't related to this program. So what we call garbage value, what we call that one? Garbage value. That means this value 15 doesn't belong to this statement, but still value is available. Okay, because this location is not cleared and used by some other program. That's why we used to initialize with a 0. That means whatever the garbage value is there, that will be cleared with a 0, right? That is the purpose of initialization. Or the value is known to us. If the value is known to us in the beginning, just initialize it. If the value is not known, just initialize with a 0. Okay? Next heading, input values. Same. Input values, processing and output values. Just 1 line, 2 line statements. No need to by heart చేయాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. Here we take the help of for loop to store the values. Why? We cannot write scanf statement 10 times. Normal procedure is that 10 times we need to write scanf statement. Okay, what is the purpose of loop? Continuous. For that, we'll take the help of for loop. For I0, the I must be initialized to 0. The reason is that index starts with 0. If index starts with 1, I must be initialized with 1. But as per the procedure, index always starts with 0. I0, I less than 10, I plus plus, just scanf function. Scanf %d, that is normal procedure, we all know that one. Scanf statement. ampersand scores of I. This loop will be repeated 10 times from I value 0 to 9. Finish? Just for loop and scanf statement. Whenever we deal with array, input means this is the combination, right? These two statements must be combined. Input. Output means, for example, same logic. Output ke same, we use the same loop, same for loop and printf statement. That's it, close. For input, for loop, scanf statement. For output, for loop, scanf printf statement. For processing, same for loop and calculation statement, right? Next, assigning values. For example, we can assign values to individual elements using the assignment operator. Value 23 is assigned to scores of 4. Scores of 4, fifth element, okay? I want to assign a new value 23 to this 4, scores of 4, that is 23 will be stored at this place. Individually we can assign values, individually we can modify the values, right? In an array, in a given array, individually we can assign or modify the value. And what about the second example? Second example, for loop I less than I equal to 0 less than 25, that means 25 elements. So what we are doing, what is the statement? Can anyone guess the statement? First of I is assigned to second of I. That means we are copying the values of first array to second array. First array to second array. Right? Whatever the first elements are there, for example, 5, 10, 15, for example, 20 is there, all are copied from this place to this place. 5, next 10, next 15, like that, 20. First of I is assigned to second of I. Whatever the elements of first array is there, all the elements will be copied from first to second array. First array to second array. It's simple one statement. If it is 1000, 1000 will be copied, 1000 elements will be copied within fraction of seconds, within seconds. With this simple statement, just write a for loop, write the statement. Printf, scanf, or any processing. This is processing statement. And what about the second one? Third example. Array size is 10, right? And scores of I is equal to assigned with I into 2. I into 2 means the I value 0 the starting, I value 0. That means 0 into 2. 0 into 2, 0. Next one, I value 1. 1 into 2. Next, 2 into 2. Next 3 into 2. Next 4 into 2. 4 into 2, 8. 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 will be stored in scores of I. Ante kada? Scores of I. Right? Here we are doing some calculation. I value, just I value. I value 0. 0 into 2. 0. 0 is stored at scores of 0. Next, I value 1. 1 into 2. Scores of 1. Okay. That means we are storing 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 like that. Okay. For storing, for loop, scanf statement. For displaying output, for loop, printf statement. For processing, for loop, processing statement. This is array. ఇంట్లో ఏమైనా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవడానికి ఏమైనా ఉందా, కష్టమైన ఉందా? నథింగ్ ఈజ్ దేర్. Right? For loop printf, for loop scanf, for loop processing statement. Close. But that is complete array. No need to by heart. Just note down the example program, same program. Note down this program. Write a program, initialize array, small program, make it fast. Write a program, C program to initialize array with square of index and print it. Square of index means index value 0, 1, 2, 3, squares. 0 square, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square. Square of index and print it. Hash include, కనిపిస్తుందా? Hash include stdio.h, hash define hash include stdio.h, hash define array size 5, int main void, or you can directly declare, no problem. Int square area of 5. Int square area of, here just you can mention 5 also. No need to write this statement, for example. For I0, I less than 5, write directly 5. I less than 5, I plus plus, square area of I equal to I into I, and display it. Array size here, directly mention 5, I comma sqrary of I. For I0, I less than 5, I plus plus, square area of I equal to I into I, and display the same, I comma square area of I. I0, square area of I means 0 square. Index 1, 1 square. Index 2, 2 square. That's why 0 index, 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, 4 square. A simple program. These two printf statements are to print like this. Just calculation here and display. Just remember those statements: for loop, scanf, for loop processing, for loop printf. That is array. Finish? See here, just for loop, processing, for loop, printf. Only main statements are these two. 2 plus 2, 4 statements. That's it. Finish? Here, what is that inputting? Inputting is just like an index value. Input index value is the input. Index value is known to us, known to the program. Program knows index values. Outputting value is missing. Just 1 second. Just put heading outputting values. The point is missing. Outputting values. Whatever the statement of inputting value is there, just write it. Same. Put side heading outputting values. Don't write this one. Outputting values. For that, what are the values of array will be there? That is displaying the values of an array is called outputting values. For that, write for loop. Note on one example. Outputting values. For I0, I less than 10, I plus plus, printf statement. Printf percentage d, some a of I. Just write those two statements for outputting values. For I0 less than size, I plus plus, just printf statement. Printf percentage d, a of I. A is an array. Finish? Yes, next point is, note on this one, interfunction communication. Just write definition as of now. Process arrays in a large program, we have to be able to pass them to functions. This topic will be clearly understood by functions topic only, function type. Just for information, just note on this. Interfunction communication. Communication between two functions. Process arrays in a large program, we have to be able to pass them to functions. We can pass arrays in two ways. The same thing, passing an individual element or passing the complete array. Passing individual or any particular element, or we can pass the whole array, complete array, from one function to another function for calculation. Don't write all statements, just underline statement. We have some syntax at this point. Finish? Just note on the sample diagram. Sample. Int a, some statements, function of a, and int array of 10, function array of 3. Not the same diagram. We'll understand easily. Int a, some statement, function of a, int array of 10, function of array of 3. Array of 3 means fourth element, right? Third index means just note down this also, or you can write a comments, like comments. In function we have one concept is there, passing the data from one function to another function. The first it is called calling function. Remember that one. It is called calling function. The next one is called called function. Right? Called function is nothing but definition or implementation. Implementation of the function. We'll discuss in the functions topic, right? Later. Just for as of now, how to pass the array, how to pass an array to a function. Here, array of 3 is passed to the function int x. The fourth element is passed to x, this x, for processing. The processing is done at this place, right? Function array of 3, that means fourth element. Fourth element is passing from calling function to called function. 3 array of 3 is passed to x, and we'll do some calculation here. Okay, that means this function is receiving data from other place, right? Not the same, you'll understand easily. This is normal variable, that is array variable. Next one, passing address, small heading, passing value, passing address. We can pass the address of an individual element in an array, just like we can pass the address of any variable. We can pass the data directly, or we can provide the address of the data. Okay, that means we are saying, okay, go to this address and find the value. Directly we can provide the value, or we can provide the address of the value. Not the same, so that we can easily understand the concept. Just one line definition. Int a, function ampersand a, address of a. Here int array of 10, function ampersand array of 3. కనిపిస్తుందా? Calling function, called function. That means the data is passing from this place to this place. That is called calling function. At this place it is called function. Remember, called function is nothing but implementation of the function, the definition of the function, All processing is done at called function, all processing. Just this one is providing the value, address of array of 3, address of array. Ampersand means, what is the meaning of ampersand? ఎలా read చేస్తాం? Address of, how to read this one? Address of, for example, ampersand a, that means address of a, address of a. Address of array of 3, 3 means 4, third index means fourth element, right? Here we mentioned int star x. Here star means pointers concept, remember that one. Pointer, star is used in pointers type, pointers, the fourth chapter I think. The previous one is passing values, next one is passing address. We can directly pass the value, okay, do something. The other way is that we can pass the address. That means we are saying, okay, go to that address and find the value and do some processing. This is normal variable, that is array variable. Here some processing, some calculations. Int a, function of ampersand a. Int array, function of ampersand array of 3. Simple. And void function int star. Just remember this star. Star is x is a pointer. Just or you can write pointer. Pointer. What is the difference between variable and pointer variable? Yes, you completed a completed simple example, one example. Ah, two statements are there, int a, second statement is int star b. What is that first statement? A is a variable of type integer, right? Whereas b, A is a normal variable, B is a pointer variable. When we use star means pointer variable. So what is the difference between these two? A can store the integer value, for example. A can store the integer value, whereas B can store, what B can store? B can store address. Pointer means address. Okay, when we talk about normal variable, we can store the value. When we have the pointer variable, pointer means which stores the address. Normal variable value, pointer variable address. Address means some address. For example, some 5,000. 5,000 is not the value. 5,000 is the address, right? Two-dimensional array. Make it fast. Ready? Just note these statements only. Put heading two-dimensional array. C looks at it in a different way. It looks at the two-dimensional array is an array of arrays. Remember this point. Array of arrays. Array of arrays. Here S is there. Two-dimensional array is nothing but array of arrays. Array of one-dimensional array. But something is missing there. C is an array of one-dimensional arrays. Just note this diagram. Rows, this is rows, and this is columns. Rows and columns. Always remember, the first row is the first value points to rows, the second value points to columns. Don't write all the content, just write this underline one and diagram. Finish? Same thing again, inputting values, processing and outputting values. So what are the statements for two-dimensional array? For inputting, just tell me the answer. For one-dimensional array, for loop, scanf statement. For two-dimensional array, how many for loops we need? 2 for loops. Okay, simple logic. For one-dimensional array, for loop, scanf statement. For two-dimensional array, for two for loops, scanf statement. For three-dimensional array, three for loops, scanf statement. Four-dimensional, very tough it is. Four for loops, and it is very tough actually, complex. Okay, we will work with only three-dimensional. Declaration, just write it. Int name of the table, int name of the table with two brackets, rows and columns. For one dimension, one square brackets. For two dimension, two square brackets. For three dimension, three square brackets. Simple. For inputting one dimension, one for loop. For two dimension, two for loops. For three dimension, three for loops. For four dimensions, four for loops. That is very tough fourth dimension. దీనికి బయాడ్ చేయాలి అవసరమా? ఏం లేదు కదా. Just for loop and scanf, for loop and printf. Two for loops, scanf statement. Two for loops, printf statement. Three for loops, scanf statement. Three for loops, printf statement. Finish. And write initialization, same as usual. Three by three, three rows, three columns means 3 into 3, total 9 elements. Remember that one. 3 by 3 means 3 into 3, 9. 9 elements. 9 elements must be initialized. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can initialize or we can go with scanf statement. అంతే కదా? చూడండి అన్ని టాపిక్స్కి సేమ్ ప్రొసీజర్. Variable, function, arrays, pointers, inputting, processing, output. Input, processing, output. Input, processing, output. For any programming language, this is the procedure. Just one line definition example. Don't write other contents. Waste of time. 3 by 3 means 9, total 9 elements, right? If 4 by 4 or 4 by 3, 4 by 3 means 4 into 3, 12 elements. 4 by 5, 4 into 5, 20 elements. 4 rows, 5 columns. The first one is about rows, the second value is about columns. Finish? Same, you write the same. Inputting, outputting. Write on your own. మీ ఓన్గా రాసేసేయండి. Inputting values and outputting values. Write on your own. 2 for loops, scanf statement. 2 for loops, printf statement. No need to by heart, right? Okay. For two-dimensional array, inputting, what is that procedure? 2 for loops, scanf statement. For outputting, 2 for loops, printf statement. For processing, 2 for loops, processing statement. Close. 3-dimension, same thing. 3 for loops, scanf statement. For processing, 3 for loops, processing statement. For output, 3 for loops, printf statement. Finish. Simple logic. What we call a loop inside another loop, nested loops, what we call nested loops, nested for loop, nesting, nested statement, a statement inside another statement, nested loop, a loop inside another loop. We can treat it as main condition, under this main condition, sub condition, sub condition 1 or sub condition 2 or something. Repetition, subtask, main task, under this main task, subtask 1, subtask 2, subtask 3, like that. Finish? And remember one point, when it comes to printing, just add a new statement, one printf statement. Printf slash n. What is that one? Once the first row will be printed, then it will go to the second row. Otherwise, what will happen? All the elements will be printed in a single line. That's the reason. For reading, no problem. For writing, just use the printf slash n, new line. Slash n means new line. First row value printed, then go to the next line. Next, second row values will be printed, new line. Third row. Finish? Inputting and outputting. You only write 2 for loops are there. 2 for loops scanf statement, 2 for loops printf statement. For printing, just add another printf statement, printf slash n. Printf slash n. For program, just we will see one program. Finish? Write a program, write a C program that fills left to right diagonal of a square matrix. What is this program? Write a program that fills left to right diagonal of square matrix, that is a 2-dimensional array with equal number of rows and columns with zeros. The lower triangle with ones, this is 1, and upper triangle with -1, this is +1. Indexes, those are indexes, right? Finish? This is a problem. Diagonal, okay, see this, the diagonals are filled with zeros. And lower triangle filled with -1, upper triangle filled with +1. So what is the condition for that? Condition. Okay, when we see this value, for example, what is the value? 0, 0, right? Row value 0, column value 0. What about this one? 1, 1. Okay, both values must be same, right? Then this value 0 for 2 and 2. Row value and column value must be same. Wherever the row value, column value is same, just store the value 0. Store the value 0. That is the condition. If row equal to column, okay, store the value 0. And what about this minus ones? Minus 1. For example, consider one value -1. Row value 1, column value 0. Row must be greater than column. 1 is greater than 0. Row is greater than column. The condition is row is greater than column. For example, consider this one. Row value 2, column value 0. 2 is greater than 0. What about this one? Row value 3, column value 0. 3 is greater than 0. Or the same thing, for example, row value 3, column value 1. That means the condition is that if the row is greater than column, store the value as -1. Then what about the other values? It's remaining +1s. What is that row value? Row value 0, column value 2. Row is less than column. Row is less than column. If row is less than column, store the value +1. Right? Same thing. 0, 3. Row is less than column. Example this one. 2 and this is 4. 2 is less than 4. Right? 3 conditions. If row equal to 0, store the value 0. If row is greater than column, store the value -1. If column is greater than, store the value +1. Right? 3 conditions. Note this, Clara. Not on the program. Same. As include stdio.h, int main void, int table of 6 by 6. Comments, don't write comments. Track and right from it this hash include. Our previous answer is the problem. What is that problem? If row equal to column, store the value 0. If row is greater than column, store the value -1. If column is greater than row, store the value +1. Make it pass. Just main declaration int table of 6 by 6. The 2 for loops. చూడండి 2 for loops. The 2-dimensional array kada 6 by 6 matrix. 2-dimensional array, 2 for loops. For I, row 0, row less than 6, row plus plus, column 0, column less than 6, column plus plus. Just read chapter 9. Int table of 6 by 6. Then for loop, 2 for loops. Row 0, row less than 6, row plus plus, column 0, column less than 6, column plus plus. Then write the condition. Conditions ఏంటవి? If row equal to 0, row equal to column, both values same kada, row 0, column 0, row value 1, column value 1, 0 0 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5, right? If row equal to column, then store the value 0. Is the condition? Yes. Row value column value same unte fill the value with 0. If row equal to column, table of row column is assigned with 0. Else if row is greater than column, minus 1. If row is less than column, plus 1. Two for loops మనకు తెలిసిందే కదా. For processing, two for loop processing statement. For displaying, two for loops processing statement. Scanf printf statement. Here, mali again for loop printf. Simple logic, previous table చూడండి. Diagonal values 0 0 1 1 2 2. That means row value 0, column value 0. Row value 5, column value 5. That means if row equals to column, then store the value 0 to row column. If row greater than column, minus 1. Otherwise, else means that is less than, plus 1. Same if else statement. Two for loops. If row equals to column, table of row column is assigned with 0. Else if row greater than column, row value ఎక్కువ ఉంది అనుకోండి column కదా, row greater than column, then minus 1 is assigned to table of row column. Else అంటే less than అన్నాడు. Okay, this is for storing. మనం ప్రీవియస్ డయాగ్రామ్ చూసాం కదా, జీరోస్ ఎక్కడున్నాయి, మైనస్ 1 ఎక్కడుంది, రైట్? టూ డైమెన్షనల్లో ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు రోస్, సెకండ్ one is related to columns. And remember, first loop controls the rows. Remember that one. First loop controls the rows, second loop controls the columns. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, right? Two-dimensional array means rows and columns will be there. The first for loop controls the rows, second for loop controls the columns. Finish? Just storing, then displaying. Whatever we have stored, just display. For loop, printf statement. Table of row column and printf /n. /n ఎందుకని న్యూ రోలో ప్రింట్ చేయడానికి అంతే. Otherwise what happens? All the elements will be printed in a single line. Single line లో ప్రింట్ అవుతాయి. Just setting multi-dimensional array, make it fast. It's only 3 dimension. Generally, we never talk about the 4th dimension, 4 dimension. Just note down the underlined statements only, not all statements. And note down the syntax and exam. Int table, planes, rows, columns. Example, int table 3, 5, 4. 3 planes, 5 rows, 4 columns. The first value related to planes, remember that one. Plane. For plane 1, how many rows, how many columns are there? For plane 2, how many rows, how many columns are there? For plane 3, how many rows, how many columns are there? Right? In 2-dimensional, first value is row, second value is column. In 3-dimension, first value is planes, regarding planes. Second value is related to rows, third value related to columns. Student, the first value related to planes, second value related to rows, the third one is columns. 3 planes, 5 rows, 4 columns. Don't write all content, just definition, syntax, exam. Finish? Last time session 12:30. Finish? Just note down this tag. Cube. Cube kada, the best example is cube. For cube we have planes, for each plane, rows and columns. Same thing, 3 for loops means first for loop controls planes, second for loop controls rows, the third for loop controls columns. First for loop planes, second for loop rows, third for loop columns. That's it. Same procedure, 3 for loops, scanf statement, 3 for loops, printf statements, 3 for loop processing statements. Finished? Finish paper diagram. Cube diagram మనకు తెలిసిందే కదా, drawing a cube. Shall I move? ఆ డయాగ్రామ్ వాళ్ళు ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్లోనే సెకండ్ క్లాస్లోనే ఈ డయాగ్రామ్ ఇలా వాళ్ళకి తెలుసు కదా, సింపుల్ డయాగ్రామ్. ఫినిష్ రైట్. ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్లో సెకండ్ క్లాస్లో డయాగ్రామ్ వేస్తుండొచ్చు కదా క్యూబ్. Finish? Okay. Try the example for this 3 dimension also. 3 for loops in your laboratory. 3 for loops scanf statement. 3 for loops printf statement. Try it. Second one ikkada. Madam, inko PDF strings. Okay. Don't make noise. Download అయిందా? అప్పుడు డౌన్లోడ్ చేయలేదా? చేయలేదా? రన్ చేసేస్తే అయిపోయిందా? వాట్సాప్లో ఎవరు యూజ్ చేశారు? ఇంతకుముందు ఎవరు యూజ్ చేస్తారు? మీరేనా? Okay, let us discuss. Next topic is strings, general idea. Is there any string type in C language? C language. We have integer is there, short int or integer, float, double, long double, data type, character is there. Is there any string type, string data type? There is no particular string data type in C language, right? So how to work with string data type? First of all, what is a string? Set of group of characters, right? And we have the characters there. We have character data type. So how to store group of characters at one place? Which data structure we can use? Arrays. The present topic, arrays only, right? That means string is nothing but set of characters, okay? And we have the character type. We have the character type, okay? And we want to store all the group of characters at one place continuously, right? Contiguous memory location kada arrays. For normal variable, the memory location can be randomly allocated, random memory locations. But when it comes to array, continuous memory allocations, right? So for this string, we'll take the help of character data type and we'll take the help of arrays to store that one. And we'll treat it as a string, right? String. Quickly note down, don't waste time. is a series of characters treated as a unit, single unit. Again, string can be fixed length or variable length. Fixed length means the size is known in the beginning. Variable length means when we do not know the size, then we'll go with variable length. Note on the diagram also. String, fixed length string or variable length string. Again, variable length string, length controlled or delimited. That delimited concept we use in C language. That's why we call C strings. This is the general idea of string. String, fixed length, variable length, and this under this variable length, length controlled, delimited, delimiter or delimited. This concept is used by C language. Finish? Shall I go with next slide? Don't write, just write the heading and diagram. We can easily understand. Length controlled. The name itself says, in the beginning itself, we are mentioning the length of the string. That means length is nothing but, length of a string is nothing but how many characters are there, how many number of characters are there in a given string. That is treated as length. For example, length control, just put heading, just note on this diagram. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That 9 is mentioned in the beginning itself. It will accept only 9 characters. More than 9 characters are there, the 10th character will not be accepted. Only the first 9 characters will be accepted. First it will see the size. What is the size of the string? 9. Okay, only read 9 characters, that's it. 10, 11, 12 is there. No, don't care. Length control. And we have the other concept is delimited. Some string is there, at the end, null character. It is called /0. C language lunda, the first chapter. Null character. What we call /0, null character. We must add null character at the end of the array. Then it is treated as string. In C language, when null character is there, it is treated as string. If there is no null character, it is not a string. Right? Null character, it is a string. No null character, it is not a string. That's it. No other logic. At the end, we must have a null character. Some strings, group of characters, then at last, null character. This null character is called as delimiter. Finish? Don't write all this content, just note on the diagram. Diagram, you can easily understand the concept, right? Just note on this point. In C, a string is stored in an array of characters. It is terminated by the null character /0. An example. And some comparison. Note down these boxes also. Diagram, small diagram. Definition, example, some other example, comparisons. What is character? What is string? What is null string, empty string? Here only single quote is there, set of single quote. Single quote, single quote. Single quote means character. Remember that one. In C language, we use single quote for character. For string, when we use two double quotes, set of two double quotes, it is treated as string. Here H is treated as character, here H is treated as string. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, సింగిల్ కోట్ యూజ్ చేసినప్పుడు it is treated as character, individual character. And when we use double quotes, it is treated as string. That's it. Single quote, character, double quote, string. Nothing is there. That means empty string. Single quote like this. Empty. Finished? Just note down one simple program, small program, just one line program. Has include std.h int main, only one printf statement is there. Note down the example. Only one line statement. Just printf statement. Has include std.h main void printf. Printf %c hello of 1. Again, 1 is the index, right? 1 means 0 means first element. 1 means second element. 2 means third element, right? Just printf statement, only one printf statement. Printf %c, double quotes, hello, in bracket 1 is there. What it will print? It will print E. How these are stored? H is stored, hello of 0, H, then E, L, L, O, null. Hello of 2, what is that one? L. Hello of 3, L. Hello of 4, O. The last one, null character, it is a delimiter. When we see the null character, it says that it is the end of the string. We have reached the end of the string. Finish? Only one statement. Declaration. How to declare the string? Just definition, example. We took the help of character data type and we took the help of arrays to store the string. The string size is 9. The array size 9 means only 9 characters we can store. And for this example, just note on this diagram, small diagram. str, which is pointing to the group of characters. That arrow is nothing but a pointer. Don't write the second one. Finish. Definition, just example. Char string of size 9. Only the 9 characters we can store. Array size is 9, only 9 characters. Example. Just write example. Don't write the content. Example, char str of 9 equal to, use double quotes. Always remember double quotes. If you use single quote, it is treated as individual. All are separate characters. The size is included with null character, right? The size is 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Space is also counted. 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, space is also counted. The first one is fixed length, second one is variable length. When we did not mention the size of the array, it is variable. When we mention the size, it is fixed length. Note this example, diagram. At the end, null character. Space is also counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space, 6, 7, 8, total 8, plus null character, 9. Finish? Just write this line to string. Just 5 to 10 minutes, we'll complete it. Syntax, char star, getters, two functions are there, predefined functions. Getters, fgetters. Getters is the regular function. F means whenever we see F, that is file. F means file. Reading contents from a file. Reading input from a keyboard, reading input from file. F for file. Getters, fgetters. Two functions are there. Just note down two syntax. Char star. Star means pointer. Gurtupetukondi. Okay na? The next topic. Char star, getters, in bracket, char star, string pointer. Char star, fgetters, char star. These are the parameters. Parameter 1, parameter 2, parameter 3. Char star space strptr comma int space size file star sp. Syntax means procedure. You must follow the procedure. Getters, fgetters are the predefined functions. Predefined, inbuiltly available. Just note the definition and syntax, right? Finish? In Google search, just you can search C program on getters. That small program, right? A C program on by using getters function. C program using fgetters function. You'll get small program to understand the concept. It's the idea, right? Reading the string values from the keyboard and storing in memory, right? The other functions, fgetters function. How fgetters function works? Either from keyboard or from a file. Okay, keyboard or file. The first one, getters function from keyboard to memory. Then second function, keyboard file to memory, storing into the memory. Program note cheskondra. Madam, time 12:30. Vela. Just 10-15 minutes. We'll complete. Just 10 minutes. Okay? Finish able strings. Make it fast. Toraga. Just 10-15 minutes maximum. We'll complete. Just write this statement. The remaining are common. Char string of 81. Don't write all statements. Just this statement write. This one, printf, fgetters, printf. That's it. 4 statements. The remaining statements are common, known to us. Hash include, int main, return 0, all are common. Just sample code, write sample. Char str of 81, printf, please enter a string, fgetters function. Fgetters without spaces. F1 get all are small letters without spaces. Fgetters. Whenever we see F means F for files. Remember that one. F for files. Reading the data from a file, writing the data onto a file. For that we use F. That starts with F. get as str comma size of. Now starting with size of is just some of the operator size of here. Size of str stdin. What is stdin? Standard input. Standard input device is the keyboard. STDIN, that is standard input device. It is keyboard. STD out, standard output device, that is monitor, display. STDIN, STD out, standard input, standard out. Just write only 4 statements. Finish. The remaining are common, known to us. F get as str comma size of str comma stdin. Don't use spaces. Remember that one. Okay? Yes, space ఇవ్వకండి. str తర్వాత comma తర్వాత space ఇవ్వకండి. Will get errors, right? Next, string to line. Just note this syntax. That is puts functions. Puts f puts. Puts comma f puts. Previous diagram, keyboard to memory. This one, memory to display, monitor. Memory, reverse. Memory to monitor. Diagrams we can easily understand, right? Concept. By seeing the diagram, okay, from memory to just display. Memory to file. File means permanent storage. Display, that is temporary storage. String to line, just 2 syntaxes, puts f puts. Please don't use spaces. ఈ spaces ఇవ్వకండి. ఇక్కడ కొంచెం స్పేస్ ఉంది. int space puts, don't no space, bracket open, cons space cat star space strptr. Here don't use space, right, as usual. Just syntax, not all syntax. In bracket you can write memory to display unit, memory to display unit. Write the program. Same. Don't write all statements. Five statements. Write the 5 statements. Char str, some statement is string is there. Char star pstr str. Just write 4 lines, don't write all the lines. Here we have used std out, standard output device, that is monitor. STDIN, standard input device, keyboard. STD out, standard output device, monitor. The standard functions, predefined functions. Finish. The first one displays the complete string. The second one, that is plus 13. 13 means 13th position onwards, here onwards, from this point. PSTR plus 13. Right, 5 lines. Finish. String manipulation function. Make it fast. One line definition. Just 5 minutes. Finish. strlen, that predefined function, it returns the length of the string. How many characters are there? Without the count of null character. No, null will not be counted. strlen, string length. Just write definition, syntax, definition, syntax. String manipulation functions, in that the first one is string length, strlen, without spaces, all are small letters. Int space strlen, const space char star string. Finish. Just one line and syntax. Next, string copy. strcpy, string copy, copying the string from one string to another string. Two functions are there, strcpy, strncpy. Whatever is there in brackets, those are the parameters, right? Functions from f of x anta kuda, x is a parameter, f is a function, x is a parameter. String copy. All predefined functions are there, no need to write the program for those definitions. Directly we can use those functions. String copy, that is strcpy, strn, n is there, ncpy. All are small letters without spaces. The second is a from string, from to string. అర్థం అవడానికి ఇలా పేరు పెట్టాం కదా, from string, from to, where we need to copy from, where to copy, where to be copied. To string, from string. For the second function, the additional parameter is size. Both are same, but one additional parameter. Finish. This is the copy. String compare. Comparing strings. Just two are random last. Comparing string means character by character comparison. Again remember case sensitivity is there. Capital letter is different, uppercase is different, lowercase is different. Right? Unique value, unique ASCII value for uppercase letter, lowercase letter. Lowercase different value, uppercase different value. Capital letter A to Z, small letter A to Z, lowercase. Finish. strcmp function. The first parameter is string 1, second parameter is string 2. Just think of 2 9, just 2 minutes. Finish. In Google also just search string manipulation function in C, right? We'll get the procedure and simple example. Character by character comparison. Next, string concatenation. String concatenation, attaching. Concatenation is nothing but attaching the second string at the end of first string. Attaching the second string at the end of first string. It is called concatenation. strcat. The function name is strcat, strncat. Just note the definition and 2 syntaxes. Both functions are same, one additional parameter. strcat without spaces. strcat, strn అన్నిటికీ ఎన్ని వస్తుంది మధ్యలో strncat. Just 5th and 6th. Character in a string. Just one line. Last 6th one is the last one. This is 5th one. This is 5th one. Just write to find the location of a character in a string. Just this is 5th and 6th. Just 1 minute. We'll wind up. strchr, right? strchr, strr. The second function is r, strr. That is reverse searching, r for reverse, remember that. Left, first one is left side to right side, second one is right side to left side searching. Searching character by character. strchr, strrchr. Double R means that is reverse. And the last one. Finish? Substring. Last one. Finish. The function name is strstr. Generally in examination they will ask, they used to ask, discuss about string manipulation functions. I think 10 marks, your maximum 10 marks question, full marks. String manipulation functions with example. You need to discuss all 6, 7. Search for a substring. str, the function name is strstr. Okay? Thank you all. Please practice the